Hello everyone. So, I'm writing a book, as it says in the actual video title, and I'm going to read you a couple of chapters of it. This is chapter 1, another video is going to be chapter 2, and another video is going to be chapter 3, and so on. I haven't finished the book. Once I finish the book, you can probably go and buy it. I haven't even worked out what I'm going to title it yet. But I thought, why not? Let's just kick out the feelers, see if anybody actually finds my writing interesting. You won't be able to actually see what I've written, but I'll read it for you like a audio book. So, chapter 1, the end, I hope. To say my head was muzzy is a bit of an understatement. I open my eyes and I see that I'm in a dark, cold room with concrete and very little to look at, but a dim light on the ceiling above me. I try and get up, but my hands are snatched back by a hard feeling on my wrists. I look down with my head, which is still feeling like a bunch of rocks hit it, and a small metal bracelet. My brain thinks it is a watch and yank, and it stops me. It is a handcuffs on both wrists. I try to move my legs. Yep, same thing, saying out to no one. Well, I'm up the creek without a paddle. At least she is safe. Then the lights come on, almost blinding me. And then I heard a deep masculine voice. Oh, her. Well, I took care of her. In the end, she begged to die, the voice said, with the air of passion in his words. My eyes were blinking. Then, as I started to refocus on the room, the dark interrogation room, with an eastern-looking man with muscles that made my arms look like twigs. She begged to live as my personal slave. Hang on, I lost my place. The man with a dark outfit and boots said. Gotta start this again. She begged to live as my personal slave, the man with a dark outfit and boots said. His complexion of a man who had seen battle and had the scars to show it. I smile at him, hoping to get a reaction. The man looks at me, then punches me, throwing the chair back about 1 inch and toppling me over, still strapped to it. The sailor was expecting to be punched to the floor was not a surprise, but to say I was expecting to get punched to the floor was not a surprise, but that it was what I wanted, but unfortunately not hard enough. I was still in the land of the living. She was on her back begging like you begging for mercy, the man said, the voice that dripped contempt from me. You think that you were being the hero letting us capture you? My brain was still in pain. I could barely think. You failed. She was in my hands within the hour, the man said as he lifted me up back onto the forelegs of the chair. He slapped me hard. Look at me, infidel, he said. My head was still a lump of rock, but I thought, why not look at the man who will end my life? I raised my head, looking into the eyes of the soon-to-be killer, or I hoped. Why she even looked at you is beyond me. The bitch deserved a real man, pointing to himself with pride. She got that in the end. Oh my, she can do things with her mouth, the scarred man said, with a sick smile on his face. My mouth throbbed, but I wanted to speak. So how much blood did you lose? I said in a cocky tone. The man smiled. Not a drop, the man said with a smirk. She did not leave a mark on me, he said with pride in his voice. I smiled at him. Then she is still alive. Otherwise she would have bit your balls off. As a last act of defiance. The off was punctuated with a gob of blood as it exited my mouth with the full force of my lungs. The interrogator, who had gotten close to my face, lurched his head, snapping my head back with the force of his headbutt. He stood up, making sure to wipe the blood off his face with the side of his sleeve. I hope you do not have inspection, otherwise you would be not fit for duty. With my blood on your face? I spoke with pride in my voice. As I stifled a chuckle, the pain was subsiding as the man drew a blade from his gear. You want blood, infidel? I will bathe in yours if you like. The interrogation master said, with honour in his voice. A splash of red would brighten this place up a bit, I said, almost as a Bond-style quip. You're not tough, little man. Beg for your life and you may live, the interrogator said, smiling, and and using his knife to almost put fear into me by displaying it in his hands, which have scars and damage. Shaking my head, why am I not dead? If you had the information you needed, then I would be dead, not having to look at your deformed face with the belief that you could make me beg to give you anything you want. You're pathetic. A cat could outsmart you, I said, hoping this would anger him. I was right. My arm felt the pain of his combat knife cutting through the fabric into my flesh. I can make your end quick, infidel. Tell me where the meeting is. With a sadistic tone in his voice, with a sadistic tone in his speech, he spoke the words. Look, you pathetic scum, born by the mother of a dead goat that has the name that sounds like a crappy washing detergent made by a computer with no understanding of English. Kill me, you fuck. She will live, and you will die by her hand, I said, with all my energy and anger, trying not to scream. A voice from the door spoke in a language I did not care what it was. The torturer shouted back to the door in the same language. I could not give one shit about that at the moment. Tell me where the meeting is. When I go to heaven, I want sluts and a view of you being tortured in hell by a professional. You're a rank amateur, I shouted back, my energy screaming in my veins as the pain increased from the blade of the interrogator. The man became enraged, threw his knife away, and then stood up and pulled his gun. Tell me, infidel, where is the meeting? Shouting so my ears rang. I smiled, spitting with the last bit of energy and looking him in the face. 2 words. Fuck you. The interrogator broke, levelling his weapon with my head. Then I heard the cocking of his gun. Then I heard a small thud. The man slumped onto the floor, the gun falling as his body dropped like a rock. The door swung open. I looked at the woman who entered, wearing a cream shirt and brown combat pants with jet black hair. She was holding a large pistol with a suppressor. The woman fired 2 more rounds. I turned to see the body of the now dead muscle-bound man, slumped in a different position. She spoke in a language I did not understand, but I heard 2 words that made my heart drop. Save him. My vision became blurry. My energy was ebbing away. My last thoughts was, I'm sorry. With that, my energy was gone. I was fully unconscious, hoping not to wake up. To save her, I needed to die. Yes, I know, reading my own story, I screwed up a bit. Okay, it happens. Let's not dwell on that. Write in the comments what you think. Continue on the playlist. It'll take you to the next video of chapter 2.